friends, and welcome back to my channel. We are going to be making some cards for teachers and also for the bus driver. So let's go ahead and get started. I am bringing in quite a bit of product here. We are using the Cricut, or I already used the Cricut rather, mainly because I really don't have any stamps or dies for back to school or for the bus driver. So in order to save some money, I just went ahead and created some cards panels, and then we're also going to be using some dies. So this is from the stamp market called In the Stitches Alphabet. And then I'm also going to be using this apple. This is an apple shaker die from Pretty Pink Posh. And then Concord and Ninth, I'm literally using just one itsy bitsy little thing, and it's just a little plus. You'll see why here in a moment. And that is from Christina Warner, called the Sparkle Wave Dies. Okay, and then let's see here. So we have that. And then also, so we're going to do 2 cards for teachers, and then we're also going to do one for the bus driver. I went ahead and created a little scene with Design Space, and I have a little bus as I don't have a stamp of a bus. So I cut that out because I do want to pop this out. So I do want this to be a little bit monochromatic to a certain extent. So very little coloring for that. And then we're going to be using some pattern paper. So we are going to be using Love is Kind from Pretty Little Studio. I love this paper pack. And I'm also going to pull in some other cardstock. And I believe that is from Echo Park. I'll be sure to list it. I'll bring it in a little bit to show you what that is. Although I do, looking at this, I think I may have to rethink a little bit. I forgot that I was doing an apple. I went ahead and just cut this twice. And not that I forgot I was doing an apple, but I think I may not have enough room. I think I need to have this go portrait. Yes, I definitely need this to go portrait. Okay, so I'm going to have to redo this one. I was just thinking that as I'm going over all the product that I have, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I should have done this portrait, not landscape. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done real quick. And then I will be right back. So I can always create another card, keep this in case I mess up, or, you know, whatever. So, all right, let's go. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will be right back. I have this all done. It was just a matter of rotating it and then sizing this down just ever so slightly. Now we're going to go ahead and just get the coloring out of the way because we only have one thing to color. And that's this bus. I'm going to leave this as is. I'm going to bring in my light grip mat. Just because when you have something small like that, it's a little hard to color and move it around. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my mat. Okay, so very, very quick coloring process, and I will get to coloring, and I'll turn on some music. This is going to take no time at all. Okay, that was easy. I had to go a little bit darker than I wanted to for the frame. I accidentally colored that yellow, but it is what it is. I was just like playing some music and I was kind of zoning out when I went ahead and started to color that. And then I realized, oh yes, I should not do that. We're going to be focusing on 3 cards all at once, so I do apologize about that, but probably going to be the quickest way to go about getting these cards done. So I'm going to bring in my stitch frame dies from Lawn Fawn, and I am going to get these. Actually, I think I might be able to go down just a teensy bit smaller. Let's see, I can't remember if I'm able to. Yeah, I should be able to. Yes, okay, so I'll use the smaller frame, the second largest, I should say, for the bus, and then for the other 2 teacher cards, I'm going just to use the full size. So this is, the card's still going to be measured at 5.5 by 4.25. So both for the portrait and the landscape. And then this one's going to be slightly smaller. So this is going to be measured at 5 by, roughly 5 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done, or this die cut from my machine. I will be right back. Here are the 2, and I apologize, I meant to read this to y'all earlier. I just have wishing you a wonderful year. And so there's my portrait and landscape, and then here is my have a really great school year. So there's that. Why don't we actually, before we do the teacher one, since the school bus is pretty much almost done, let's just get that one done and out of the way, because that one is like, this one's like so super easy. So I have some cardstock. I believe this is beeswax from Spellbinders, and I'm just going to go ahead and score this at 4.25 because it's 5.5 by 4.25 or 8.5, and we'll fold it right down the middle. Okay. Scoring that, or reinforcing that score mark there. That looks good. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in my foam panels. I've been getting asked a lot of questions about these. I actually made them myself. I do have a video where I made them, but it was in part of another video. So I apologize, I don't have a video dedicated to just making these. I can make one for y'all if you're interested. I know that I was inspired by another content creator who made these panels too, and I'm not sure if she created it herself or what, but I'll be sure to create one if you would like. Okay, so that's good. I had to trim that down. Some of the panels I made these panels over a year ago when my craft room was out of commission, because we were closing up the entryway from the dining room to the kitchen, and then we were adding doors from our main entry to the dining room. Now it's a craft room, so we can close it up and make this an actual craft room. So I just made a boatload of foam panels, and it's been, well, it just hit a year back around this time, around July, end of June, July, and I barely made a dent. And I make a lot of cards. A lot of cards don't even make it to the channel, so it's kind of crazy with how much I made. I don't know, I just can't watch TV like all day if I have, I mean I can't, I mean I have a kid, but I always want to do something. I want to be productive with my time, so I blame college for that. I can't sit still because of college. I was constantly busy in school, and I think that just has trained me to be busy here in my life. So alright, so I'm just adding some foam squares. These are not as thick as the foam panels, or I would use that scrap piece. But of course, you know, I just don't want to add too much. I guess I could because I'm not mailing these, so technically I could. But yes, I absolutely adore our bus driver, and I'm hoping we have her again. So on my daughter's first day of school, pre-K last year, we dropped her, well, we walked her to her classroom, and then the second day she rode the bus, and you know, because she's a bus rider, and just because of our schedules, and she cried. It was, oh, it was so sad. And our bus driver was so amazing because she called me after her route was all done and just let me know how she was doing, and she said that she was fine. As soon as, you know, the bus got going, she calmed down and she made a friend with our neighbor, which I'm so thankful for, and then she was fine. So I'm very happy that she called, and I'm eternally grateful because I know that she knows how us mamas would feel when we see our little babies crying getting on the bus. So instead of bringing in some sequins, oh, you know what? I gotta get this off first. Let me get the backers off. Go. And, oops. Come on. Perfect. Okay, so let's get that about where I like it. That looks good. And then I'm bringing in some pops of color from scrapbook.com and stickles. And I am going to add a little bit to, this is Stardust. I'm going to add, oh, I need to, it's clogged, so I need to unclog it. There we go. Okay. Oop. There we go. Just a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit on the clouds. There we go. Lovely. Maybe a little bit on the little puffs of smoke from the bus. And then, so that looks good. And then I'm going to use this one. I think this is called Pearl. Oh, this is the pearl kind, and this is called Soft Pink. And then I'm just going to add it to the heart. Wonderful. And then maybe I'll just do a little bit. I'm going to turn this to the side. I'm going to overdo it. Watch. But I want to add just a little bit of sparkle to the glass. It's a magic bus. Love it. All right, first card done, and it was so super simple. Again, you can make this as involved as you want. You can add trees, you can add houses. For back to school last year, I did a really cute little scene with a bus driving through the countryside, and this time I thought I'd just go on a little bit more of the simpler side, but I think that really turned out so super cute. Okay, easy peasy. Let's move on to the rest of the 2 cards. This one that we're going to do next, we're going to do the landscape one. And I am going to bring out my alphabet dies, and we are going to use the letter A. Then we are also going to bring out that little plus. Okay, now if you don't have a die that you can cut out with a little A plus, you can use your Cricut. It's just you're going to have to maybe use your Cricut for the A and for the plus. I could have, right? I could have kept this completely Cricut related, but I like the stitch detail, so that is why I'm not doing that. But if you want to do the stitch detail, if you have this die or something similar, then you're going to have to, what I do is I go to the company's website and I find that die set, and then I scale it, I copy it and scale it into Design Space so I can get somewhat of a decent size in the placement, and then I can put that, you know, that plus size, and then I would run this through my die cutting machine. Again, if you want a tutorial on that, I do that all the time. In fact, I just did it on a collaboration with Jen when we did our Christmas in July video, and So we were doing like a gummy bear challenge using a die set that we both had, and to turn it into a Christmas card. And I needed to scale the pattern paper that she sent me, and so I just went ahead and went to the Hero Arts website, screenshotted it, brought it, it doesn't have to be perfect, brought it into Design Space, and then yeah, and then I just did it that way. So A+, wishing you a wonderful, does it, okay. So it's about, I think that looks good. And then we'll add the little plus. Okay, so we don't need this, but we could make another card with the negative piece, or the positive piece, I should say, with the plus sign, if we wanted to. And then we could also use, if we're going to do that, we can use this one. So I might do that actually. I won't do it on camera, but, and I'll be honest, y'all, this is not the first time of me making this video. I already made a bunch of 3 cards. You'll see the other 2 cards that I'm changing it up a little bit in this card. Very, very similar to the first video, just using different pattern, but I'll be sure to show you that one. And then I did a completely different one. And again, I'll show you that at the end of the video. I was so mad. I recorded it and realized I was completely out of focus because I've been having focusing issues with my camera. It keeps on wanting to not focus, like every time, like in movements, and it's like a low grade, you know, it's not a very expensive camera. I bought a really inexpensive camera when I first started my YouTube because I didn't know if I was going to keep up with it, and here we are approaching 3 years of being on YouTube. And so we're going to be upgrading here soon. But anyways, so my husband changed he turned it off so the focus, so when it keep on auto-focusing. And well, when he turned it off, he tested the video and I looked at it, I'm like, yep, looks good. So then I started recording, not thinking. I had to look at it again, did 2 videos, the Christmas collaboration and this video, and it was completely out of focus. So I don't know what happened. So anyways, I don't know if my camera's going bad, but hopefully this video is going to turn out just fine. I think it will. I've been watching it very carefully. So anyway, so I do apologize for the rambling. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do, now you want to make sure that you, oh, you know, I need to do the plus part. You want to make sure that you keep this little inside piece, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and not lose that. And I'm going to go ahead and add my little plus next to, the only thing is this plus does not have any stitched detail, excuse me, but that's okay. It doesn't need to have that. Okay, so there's that little plus. We don't need that for this card, but I'm going to keep it for my other card, so hopefully I won't lose that. I mean, it's not big in the world if I have to die cut that out. Alright, so I'm going to carefully remove the washi tape so it doesn't rip my paper. Very good. So there's what that looks like. Okay, so we'll finish up this card and then we'll move into the last card, and that involves just a little bit more of die cutting. I'm going to put this away so I don't lose that little piece. Now we just need to figure out our pattern. So bringing this in, I've used this plenty of times, and I think, let's see, I was thinking a lot of really good pieces. You could do something like this, but the pattern's a little bit too big for that. So we'll just trim this down to 5.5. Actually, we'll do 4.25. Yeah, 4.25. And then we'll trim this down to, oh, you know what? And then we'll trim this down to, actually I'm going to go just a little bit smaller. No, wait, I'll just go the full. Alright, and then we'll trim this down to 5.5. Okay. So we can have that like so. So here's the thing I'm not liking. I don't like how you can see those stripes through the white cardstock. So we're going to do an inlay. option actually. Okay. So we can just inlay that like so. And then bring in the little plus. Now I'm going to once again score this just like we did in the other card, because again we're doing a landscape card, so we need to do 4 1/4, well 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. I'm going to score that at 4 1/4. Now I always like to pop up my panels with that foam panel that I made, but the thing is I don't like to do that when the panel itself is actually the full size of the card base. So when it's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, if there's a nice little border like we did in that bus card, then yes, of course, I will most certainly do that. But again, to me, it just doesn't make sense for me to bump this up when it's not going to really do too much. Now I debated when I was cleaning everything up. Now here's the inlay look. Now because I'm not bumping anything up, I feel like this is just really flat. I mean, I feel it is flat. And so to me, I like a little bit of dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim up this little piece here, and I'm going to bump up the A, and I'm also going to bump up that little plus sign. So let me go ahead and get some dimension on here. I took all of the backings off of the foam tape, and I'm now going to place that onto my card and try to get this nice and lined up. Now I ended up not adding any foam to that little plus, because that is just going to be way more work than I have anticipated or planned to do. All right, and then I really don't need that piece anymore, so I'm just going to leave that as is. Okay, and then I will just inlay that plus sign like so, and then I'm going to bring that right in there like that. Okay, now if you want, you can add that. Well, shoot, maybe I should. Okay, I'm going to, but I'm going to inlay it. I'm not going to add any foam to it. Okay, and then I'll just pop you there and get that in there like so. Love it. Okay, now we just need a little razzle dazzle to the card. And let me go get, so yes, this one is a lot different than how I did the other card when the video was all blurry. So again, I will show you all of the cards at the end of this video so you can see what they look like. But I'm going to get some embellishments. I went ahead and added some gold stars. I thought that was really fitting for this card, and I think that's all we need to do for this card. Simple, and I absolutely love it. Now we have one more card to do. We're going to use this piece of pattern cardstock. This is from Echo Park called Baby Girl, and you can turn this into a shaker, but I'm actually not going to. I think I just want, do I want a shaker? You know, I was not going to do a shaker. No, I'm not going to. Okay, so we don't need this shaker element. Okay, all we in this card is just going to be so super easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and line up my apple like so. I am so obsessed with this pattern that I actually went to their website and bought like 15 sheets of it because I love it so very much, and it's been in a few of my cards. So adding my foam panel, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple strips again to give it that boost of dimension. I love the idea of a pink apple. I think that is just so cute and definitely my vibe, right? Okay, so I think that's gonna go in there. And then I gotta figure out, do I want this to be, yeah, I guess I do want that to be behind it, but I'll have enough room to stick that underneath there, even if this is all the way down. All right, just thinking out loud here. Okay, I love using my reverse grip tweezers to kind of help me with getting my hands out of the way. Oop. And then I will add some liquid glue to the bottom of, I really probably should have put this on first now that I'm thinking about it, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of put it like so, and I'm going to use my tweezers to kind of hold that into place while that dries, because I can't push it down because it's now on foam tape. Now, again, this one is definitely different than the one I did in the other video that did not come out well. So I will show you a different idea, because I used my pattern paper and ran it through my printer and printed wishing you a wonderful year on the actual apple. So be sure to check that out at the end of the video. It's pretty cute. And I think I like that, and I think I like it in the background, because I don't like it up front. So yes, do we need embellishments? Of course we do. I think I'm going to bring in those stars. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but let's see how they're going to look. Alrighty, I went ahead and added those same gold glitter stars, and went ahead and just added 6 of them. I know that, you know, odds are more pleasing to the eye, but to me, I'm just feeling like having 6 on this card, just like the one that we did previously. So here is what that one looks like. Oh my goodness, I love this card. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the other one done off camera, because it's going to be real simple, and then I'll show you what that one looks like here in a moment. Okay, well, here is the final card. I just went ahead and added a little bit of ink blending on the back. I used the Stamp Market blush for the background, and then of course I added those stars, and then I also added you know, a nice cute little border. So here are all the cards that we did in today's video. You will have to let me know which card of the 4 that you liked, and I'm about to show you the other cards that I did. Again, I did the school bus, but sorry, my phone's going off. I did do the school bus, and it's the same one, so I won't show you that one, but I'll show you the other 2 that I did. And again, so technically I did 6 cards in total, with 1 being duplicated, and honestly, they were super easy, especially using my Cricut. It went by really fast. You will have to let me know which of the 6 cards that you like the most. I honestly just love every single one of these. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next card craft or craft haul video. Bye.
Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my mommy's channel. Bye bye.